On this episode, Sam and Kevin Ford complete the Flex-A-Lite radiator and fan installation in the Project Jeep TJ Rock Crawler.
Okay, today we're going to be tackling one of the most important parts of any project, and that is going to be the cooling system. Now, anytime you have a custom application like this Jeep, if you've noticed that there is nothing but openness up here, we've removed all the cladding that directs the air naturally going into the radiator, and it's gone now. So we have to come up with some good cooling to take up for that.
Yeah, we want to get as big of a radiator as we can into a small space. I mean, Jeeps don't have a lot. We've put a big engine, lots of horsepower. We're going to be off-road, sitting a lot. So we're not going to get that natural airflow from cruising. So we want to make sure we got a big, nice fan that can move the air through and keep us from overheating.
Yep, and a good idea in this case is to put yourself a 160 or a 180 thermostat like what Travis likes using. Now, it's important that you pick the right radiator for something like this because you got 3 to 4 row on this particular radiator, aluminum construction, and you look at the fan shroud, it completely covers the surface area of the radiator, giving you the maximum cooling. And like Kevin said, when you're idling like we're going to be, we need all that power we can get.
Yeah, that's right. So the biggest thing is getting this into this small package, creating our brackets, getting everything mounted securely, because the other part of off-roading is it's rough on stuff, you know? We want to make sure it's secure.
Absolutely, and we're going to have to do a little bit of a JDM lean to the radiator.
That's right.
I can't wait. Okay, we got the grill back in place. Now we're going to see if the radiator fits and what kind of bracket should we have to come up with.
We're trying to stay below this top line so we clear the hood, and we're trying to make sure we clear those brackets.
And then we have to keep in mind that, which should be clear because the front of the hood has some girth
Like
to
a bulk,
it.
yeah.
Yep. So we have to make sure that we stay away from that. And we're tilted black, so what we're going to do is we're going to make some brackets right here off the roll cage. We're going to tack them in place because we don't have our accessory drive yet, and we don't want to make anything permanent just yet.
That's right. We want to do that and make sure we're happy with the brackets, and we'll figure out how we're going to brace them and just weld them up when we're all done.
Okay, so now we're going to take the radiator out and make some brackets.
Yeah.
Now, you know, this cardboard gives us good protection while we're doing any kind of mock-up on a radiator.
Yeah, I mean, as careful as you want to be, you can knock those fins over, especially on an aluminum radiator like this, and then, you know, it just doesn't look good.
Yep, and it doesn't flow as well. And anytime you guys are cutting something like what we're doing here, don't go crazy and cut everything off. Cut a little bit off at a time so that you can get good clearance, because there may be a time where you don't have to cut everything off. We were able to save this bottom part and keep the integrity in the grill.
Yeah, it keeps our mounting point now. Like if we had to cut this whole thing off, we'd have to refigure the mounting, but this is going to work out good. We'll check it and make sure, and then we'll get to the tabs.
What we're going to loosely bolt it in, test fit the radiator, and see what kind of mounts we have to make for it.
Now I found some of the factory hardware had a hard time going in and out of these, so we retapped them and used actually some bolts out of an LS.
Yeah. That way it keeps it factory fresh.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea to always go back and tap things because this is older and rust builds up on the threads, then you start galling your hardware.
Absolutely.
Kevin, that is awesome. And also, we were able to get complete surface area as far as airflow goes through that grill.
Yeah, and we've got plenty of room with it raked back. It worked out really nice. It goes along with the shock towers. Kind of an accident, but you know, we'll take credit for it.
And you know what? You got room for the accessories, like you said. We got room for a couple of coolers here because power steering is important. But in our case, because we're idling the engine, being a rock crawler, an engine oil cooler is also very important. And this is where you want to take your time and mock things up. Something like this, you saw we took it apart 3 or 4 times, but it takes that to get it done properly one final time.
Right, and we didn't have to go back and cut or replace the grill because we cut too much. Everything worked out well. The hardware went right back in. I mean, we're ready to move on to the next project.
This is definitely somewhere where you don't want to get lazy. Next thing we're going to do is install our worn winch.
Yep.